Hey guys, welcome back to Games of War. Been far too long yet again. New year, new channel, here we go. Yes, you read the title of the video correctly. I purchased an Xbox One X in 2019. You might be saying to yourself, man, what a stupid ass move. The new successor is coming out this coming up holiday season. Why would you waste your money on a machine that's basically going to be obsolete? There's a few reasons why, and I thought it would make an interesting video because this is still very much worth it for me in 2019, 2020, moving forward. And here's why. So one of the main reasons I picked this up as late in the life as I did is that this is the Gears of War model. I'm an absolute Gears of War nut. I love the series. I've loved it since the first entry. This is one of the coolest looking systems I've seen so far for the Xbox line. I absolutely love the white kind of glassed overlook. I love the graphic display. It makes some cool sounds when you light it up. It's got an amazing looking controller. So as far from the aesthetic look, it comes bundled with all the Gears games 1 through 5, which are amazing. They look fantastic on the Xbox One X. Those 4K visuals really pop to life. So I do love the machine itself. I love the games it comes bundled with. And it was on sale for $350, which is a pretty damn good deal. So aside from that, we did own an Xbox One back in 2014. I remember that year for Christmas, I got the Wind Waker Wii U model, and Zach ended up getting the Xbox One. Now back then, there wasn't an awful lot of reasons to own an Xbox One. If you remember the disastrous kind of launch explanation that Microsoft did where like you couldn't buy games and trade them in and you couldn't take them to other consoles. It was just kind of a disaster launch idea that they ended up fixing shortly after that. The blowback and outrage was immediate, and it made the PlayStation 4 that much more compelling right away. So after fixing a bunch of key mistakes, the Xbox One suddenly became viable again. However, at that point, the PS4 was more powerful and the multi-platform games seemed to run better on the PlayStation 4, and there weren't a whole lot of exclusives at that point for the Xbox One. Now, for Xbox and myself personally, we go way back. When the first Xbox was announced and it came out, I was on board fully. I was a Dreamcast supporter through and through. I didn't have a PS2 at that time, so I looked at the Xbox as kind of a fresh start with brand new games, new exclusives, new IPs. And so I was looking at the Xbox as a fresh start for me in gaming. I jumped in, I was all in. Loved the original Xbox. There was a ton of great games that came out for it. Fast forward to the Xbox 360, and they had an amazing first year head start on the PlayStation 3. Tons of killer exclusives came out for that thing at the time, exclusive anyway. I mean, 99 Nights, The Condemned, Cameo, Saints Row, Lost Planet. Just a ton of amazing games that came out that were only available on Xbox at first. They carried that momentum through, having an exclusive deal with Mistwalker. We got RPGs. The multi-platform games ran better on the 360. So the Xbox and myself, we were like this, man. I was a fan for life. And I played the 360 most of last generation until later on when the RPGs started coming out for the PlayStation 3. But that's a different story. But the Xbox One hit, and it was kind of like crickets chirping, man, and throughout the whole life. So Zach ended up keeping the Xbox One for a few years, and we ended up selling it off. I hardly played the Xbox One at all. When we sold the Xbox for the first time, I was left with a handful of games that made the cut for me personally. Rise, Son of Rome was always one of my favorites. Quantum Break by Remedy, which I thought was and is an amazing game, an amazing concept. A great third-person action game with kind of a TV show woven in. Big fan of Quantum Break. Sunset Overdrive, which is one of my favorite exclusives on the system. Well, I believe it's on PC now, but a great game from Insomniac. Kind of a journey outside of the PlayStation realm for Insomniac. Sunset Overdrive still holds up as an amazing game. Outside of Gears of War, Halos, the Forzas, there was really nothing that wanted or called me to come back to the Xbox brand, which is very odd. And I thought about it the other day. You know, I'd been such a strong, loyal supporter of the Xbox ever since the first machine came out. Here I am, fast forward 2018, 17, 18, in the beginning of 19, I don't even have the system. Like, what the fuck is wrong with this picture? Then I started doing some reading, and I kept hearing about how this new backwards compatibility that Microsoft was focusing on. And I kind of read into it a little bit more, and I discovered that a ton of the Xbox 360 library is available to play backwards compatible, and it kind of upscales it to 4K and does all kinds of enhancements, frame rate improvements. And then I learned that the original Xbox library, a lot of them were getting the same treatment. As soon as I read that Panzer Dragoon Orta was playable on the Xbox One, upscaled, enhanced, all that good stuff, 4K. I was in. I knew in there I was going to make the jump back into the Xbox brand. And I got to say, after playing for the past couple weeks, I'm really happy that I did. I think it's a phenomenal system, and aside from the price being $350, which is a really good deal, a lot of the games that were on sale for Black Friday, I just jumped right in, man. I kind of went nuts. And the funny thing is, I didn't pay a dime over, $14.99 for the most part, and at the most, $24.99 for a good stack of games. One of the highlights for me personally has been Greedfall. Now, I'm such a big fan of Spiders, and this company has been making great games ever since Bound by Flame, which is a game that came out on the 360 and PS4, oddly not on the Xbox One, but a fantastic game. It's an action RPG with dialogue choices that kind of influence the storyline. Same kind of formula here with Greedfall. Now, these guys don't make the most polished games in the world due to budget constraints, and they're a very small team, but I will take the stuff that they make over a lot of the AAA stuff that's coming out. These games have personality, the dialogue is funny as hell, great gameplay, excellent storylines, characters. I'm a big fan of the way they do their games, and Greedfall is no exception. Don't let this slip under your radar, man. A fantastic game. Support a smaller dev. They're making fantastic games. Greedfall, I mentioned Bound by Flame. Also, another one they did was Techromancer. Once again, a big fan of the RPG elements, the dialogue, gameplay. They're not the most polished games around, but they've got more heart and soul than many of these big budget games that are coming out. The Surge was fantastic, so definitely check out Spiders, check out Greedfall, Bound by Flame, Techromancer. Some great games still being done, reminding me much of like the PlayStation 2 era. I was finally able to pick up the Darksiders 3, man. I absolutely love the first two Darksiders. Big fan of the series. This game was on sale for $10, man. I almost wanted to offer to send the studio more money because this game is amazing. The other two are amazing. And $10, what a steal. And I've also got to give special mention to Need for Speed. Now, I go way back with this series. The first game on the 3DO, I was hooked since then. And I've enjoyed the series ever since then. I kind of had a bit of a infatuation with the run that came out. I know a lot of buddies of mine were kind of like, oh, the run sucks. I absolutely love Need for Speed The Run. I think it's one of my favorite racing games of all time. And this right here kind of takes me back to that time. This game has got fantastic controls. The power sliding is perfect. Kind of reminds me a bit of Ridge Racer almost. You just kind of let off the gas, then reapply, and it begins the drift, and you kind of feather it like that with a little bit of the brake involved. But the power sliding this is perfect, man. You can be coming top speeds into those corners. And with some proper feathering of the controls, you can kind of whip right through that corner without smashing into the wall, losing speed. Fantastic controls. I absolutely love the visuals in this. And the setup is really cool to where you race at night and in the day. Now in the nighttime is where you get all your rep points. Now those are good for unlocking new vehicles, unlocking new parts, better parts, get your car faster. But you have to go and race in the day to get all your cash. So what you do is you earn all that cash. But if you just got the cash, it's worth nothing. You got to go out there at night and elude cops. The cops can get relentless. You got to win these races at night. And it's kind of like a risk-reward thing. I remember one time I won a race. The cops were still chasing me. And I managed to elude them. I did another race. And by the time I won that race, they were really on my ass. 5 or 6 cop cars. And I thought, oh, I can do this shit, no problem. And they just got relentless. They swarmed me. I ended up wrecking my car. I lost everything, man. Pissed me off. But it's that kind of a risk-reward gameplay that makes for a lot of fun and very addictive to win races, get that money, go out at night, get those rep points. So I can't gush enough about Need for Speed, a fantastic game. So yeah, guys, I've really enjoyed the purchase I've made, getting back into the Xbox world. It's a fantastic console. I had a lot of fun on Black Friday, kind of cleaning up and going through and picking up all those games that were dirt cheap. I got up to 10, 12 games, all for under $20. It was a steal. I managed to pick up a few more things over Black Friday that I had been waiting for quite some time. The Shovel Knight expansion finally came out. I was able to grab the amiibos that I've had pre-ordered for like 2 years now. So it's cool to have all the Shovel Knight amiibos. I got my AI, the Slaminum Files Collector's Edition from the makers of Zero Escape, brand new detective game, solving murders. Absolutely fantastic game. Loving the Switch, loving the Collector's Editions, limited editions. Overall, the game room is almost, I'd say, damn near ready to show off a room tour. Now, granted, it's a much smaller room, but I've been getting a lot of messages asking for a new room tour, and I'd love to show you guys. Just bear with me. It's a much smaller room, not quite as impressive as it used to be, but I'd love to show it to you guys and go over some new stuff. Games of War is back. I'm having fun playing games again. I can't wait to get the channel going back again. Thank you for sticking through, those of you that stuck by on Patreon and help the channel every way you can. I love you all, and I appreciate you to no end. Thank you guys for watching. As always, Games of War is nothing without you.